Susul. Welcome back to Under the Plumbob. This is another installation of the MCCC, the MC Command Center Deep Dive series. If you're tuning in to listen to this, definitely check out our previous episodes on MC Command Center. That would be episode 20 and episode 53. Nope, 52. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do in MCCC by clicking on the mailbox.
So the mailbox now does other things besides bring you bills if you have MC Command Center.
My name is Melissa, and I'm here to listen, observe, and learn.
My name's Caitlin. I'm here to tell you about the mailbox.
I'm Roxy, and remember to move out your saves, back up your saves and your mods, and take your mods out whenever there's an update.
That's right. So,
PSA.
Caitlin.
Yeah, me.
Caitlin, this is a complex mod, and we've talked about, what different functions are in it, but one of my earliest memories of The Sims in general was in Sims 2. And if you had, I think, Tombstone of Life and Death, or there was some cheat, maybe I'm thinking of NRASS. NRAAS?
So many
You know the one. The MCCC of Sims 3.
Yes.
That one, a lot of the functionality had to do with clicking on the mailbox. So what does that mean in terms of MCCC and The Sims 4? Caitlin, will you tell us all about the world of possibilities available to us?
Sure. Well, the mailbox for Sims, it doesn't have as many menus as clicking the computer does. But
Good Lord, we're never going to finish those lists of menus.
But it does
Someday.
come with a lot of, you could very much clear out your game. There's a lot of stuff that's just, and you've cleared out a whole game of stuff.
That's true. The mailbox is a little dangerous.
It's powerful. There's not as many options, but it's very powerful. And use it at your own
risk.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I was like, challenge? No. Self? No. So we'll start with the longest list was the Sims /NPC household cheats. And some of these are really simple. The first one that comes up was you can summon a Sim to come to your house. And you can do that a couple different ways. You can summon a Sim by name, and then a text box shows up where you can type in the name of the Sim you want, but it does have to be the full name. So if you are not good at spelling like me, this won't work for you unless it's like Bella Goth.
Right?
With how crazy some of the names get.
And I get into that when it's like Reset Sim. It's like, how did I spell that last name again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2 R's.
But if you're dyslexic like me, you can also do Summon Sim list all names, and it shows a grid of all Sims available on the save. And the grid looks like when you make a phone call, but your Sim knows everybody. This is easier.
Helpful.
It's easier for me. You can also do list no ghosts. So it's the same list.
No ghosts.
But no ghosts. Because we don't mess with no ghosts.
We don't want no scrubs. I mean ghosts.
You know what? No scrub.
I don't know about you, but I ain't afraid of no ghosts. So
who you gonna call? So after you select the Sim, you'll get a Sim. Your Sim will be right over pop up, and the selected Sim will act like you invited them over. So if you say you're making a story and you need the Sim you made to come over to this person, they'll act like you invited them over. It's nice.
sure.
They'll act like it, and they'll like it.
They sure
That's
will. They
right.
don't know any better. They're stupid simulations. We love you.
Don't talk about us like that.
Don't have an uprising, please. There's so many of you. There's the hide house. There's a hide households option. So this allows you to select households who are mostly not affected by the MC Command Center settings. This is helpful if you want certain households, like you have a rotational play and you don't want things to be affected by the crazy things that MC Command Center can do. When you select this, there will be one sim shown to represent the household, and whichever sim comes first alphabetically represents them. So for the pancakes, Bob showed up to represent the household. Eliza, I'm sure, would have some things to say about that, but she should have had
Eliza
and Peggy.
She should have spelled her name with an A.
Yeah. Eliza.
Haha.
Alyssa.
Get it.
Alyssa.
Eliza.
Oof.
Yep, don't like that.
We're sorry if that's your name. No disrespect. There's the unhide household. So this will allow Sims that are marked as hidden from MC Command Center to be affected by things. When I opened this without having marked any families, so I was playtesting a lot of this. When I opened it I actually playtested all of it. It took me a couple hours. Humble brag. You can cut that out.
Don't cut that out.
Don't you dare.
When I opened this without having marked any families hidden, the grid, all the ghosts, the grid was only full of ghosts and the Irwin priest from Strangerville, that cute redhead with the colander on his head.
I think it's Prize.
Oh, yeah.
Prize? Pries. Irwin. Irwin was not.
Irwin P.
Was in this list for some reason. So So MC Command Center seems to hold him in a precious baby bubble.
Yes.
Interesting.
You can also, this is where stuff gets I think I mentioned this in our last game, but I couldn't find it again, so I thought it was crazy. You can humanize all aliens, vampires, and mermaids. So you can make all the listed occults human.
What about spellcasters?
They were not on the list. I'm sure that's coming, but they weren't available at this when I did this a week ago.
Yeah.
So I did it. I tested it with a vampire. Changes all vampires. Oh no, I did one with a vampire, then I did another thing with a mermaid. So it changes all vampire sims in the world to humans, removing the vampire trait forever. Warning: changing a sim's occult type will result in loss of all buffs. So you can make Vlad look real silly real fast by just taking away his powers and just making him some creepy guy on the hill.
You're stupid.
So, but I did test this. I tested this with a mermaid that I made in Cass, and then I cleared her of her powers. You can become a cult again after MC Command Center clears it out. So I had her eat some kelp and jump in the water, and she was a mermaid again. So it's not clearing it out forever.
Except aliens, you can't become an alien.
Yeah, but if you can become it through regular means, through other means besides stuff, then you can become it again. So there's that. Run relationship cleaner. So, quote, clean relationships in the world based on the settings from MC Cleaner for cleaning relationships. I think Roxy talked about this.
No, we didn't get to it.
Well, when Roxy's going to
But we will.
When we cover it. So this can be used to, quote, clean up your game based on settings you have picked via the computer or SimSelf. So do you want to get rid of all the random ghosts? Too many elders? This is a way to fix that. So I ran this on a random save without adjusting anything, and it said 231 relationships were deleted. And it looks like any sim that wasn't in a house and had no relationships active got deleted. So
can we, real quick, run that on the Republican Party?
Sure.
Just super quick. Just any old... Cut that out. That's too political.
You have to cut that.
But also, can we?
That out.
Can we do that? Just a test.
Anyway.
We should test it. Just saying. Everything should be tested.
Everything should be tested.
Okay, go click on your mailbox after this and see what happens.
All right, I will run outside real quick.
So you can also set all walk styles. So first you click the mailbox. Then you can get the set all walk styles, and you get a choice between female or male. Then you pick teen, YA, elder, adult, or elder. And then the list showing default, and then the 9 different walk styles based on whatever you chose. And in order to keep all the... So this will set... So say you hit female, YA, flirty walk. I don't remember the names of all the walks. Or slot.
Sissy that walk.
And you hit save.
This seems a bit like they shouldn't have to have all the same walk.
If you want them to, this is here for you. But you do have to save. You do have to save the game and come back in order to make it permanent.
I could see it benefiting in like if you're like in a snobby town, but I guess would that include the played sim?
All sims.
The option is there.
Just
is
in
what
case.
we're saying.
So then there's dresser clean all items. When you click on your sim, you have the option to blacklist items like that stupid eyeball ring from a Sim's wardrobe. By clicking this will take the settings you decided upon the click yourself option and apply it into the entire save. There's also a warning this could take a while if you have a lot of sims in the save. So you don't want that stupid eyeball ring? You select it on the sim self, and then you come to the mailbox to make it so, to dictate it to the entire save.
Yeah, I need that.
Eyeball ring is life.
Eyeball ring
is it, though?
And you can also change all outfits. So this will force all sims on the current zone into a specific outfit. So do you want everybody to be fancy? Everybody gonna be fancy. You want everybody in their pajamas? Everybody's in their pajamas. It's a pajama party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pajamas.
Pajama jam.
Yeah.
Or if it's really cold out and you want everyone in their swimwear, we won't judge you.
What do you do?
No, we will. We will judge you.
Them?
I'm not judging you. I'm going to do that as soon as we're done here.
So just to test it, just to see. You got to play test this stuff, guys. Play test this to make sure we said was accurate things. Deletion cheats. This is where things get really dangerous. There's a delete all sims option. This will delete all sims in the save besides the active household. For good.
Why
all of them will be gone.
Oh my god, this made the apocalypse challenge so much easier all of a sudden.
One down. There's a delete all homeless sims, which is problematic, but deletes all sims not actively in a house. Forever. Goodbye. Goodbye, all homeless sims.
I like these settings.
There's a delete unplayed sims. Does what that says. Forever. It deletes any sim you haven't played. There's delete cold sims. Deletes all sims cold by the Sims 4 or Ghost Sims not released to the Netherworld. I don't know the difference between deletion and cold. So apparently deleted is more permanent.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Where
do the called Sims live? Is there like Sims Purgatory?
Or maybe you can resurrect them and you can't resurrect them if they're deleted. Or deletes all their relationships. So, like, even your Sim's grandmother, they won't show up in their, like, history, probably.
Well, there's a setting that we'll talk about that probably saves them, but okay.
And then there's a delete by occult. So there's an option to delete by each occult. So instead of just making those occults human from before, you could just delete all the vampires. Delete every vampire. No more Vlad. Vlad's dead.
That's genocide, Caitlin.
Vlad never existed. I am just reporting. I am here to tell you. I didn't test this one. I pretty much got the message of what. But you can delete them. You can also delete by age. Does this make you feel better?
Oh my god, I love this so
There's
much.
There's an option to delete each age group from baby to elder. You could just take them all out.
Delete all toddlers. Delete all elders. Done.
All elders who are supporters of a certain political party.
I don't think it's that granular.
Maybe maybe it just needs to be updated. MC Command Center.
Equip trait boomer. Delete all boomers. Just kidding. My mom's a boomer.
My dad's
Type
a boomer.
in _ okay boomer. My mom's a boomer too.
There's
They're fun.
There's also a Baby Yoda gift that just says boomer okay.
Aww.
He's so cute. He tries so hard. There's also a delete by there's also delete by gender. So you could just delete all the dudes. Delete all the chicks.
That sounds perfect. I think I know some men that would support that.
Do you want to make a challenge based on Why the Last Man? You can. That's a
Why
comic.
the Last Man?
It's a comic. It's very good. It's by Brian K.
Why?
Vaughan.
The Last Man.
Why? His name is Yorick because his dad was an English professor.
Alas, poor Yorick.
He's
the last man.
It's very good. I highly recommend Why the Last Man. It's a completed comic. It's a completed graphic novel. Go find it in your local sales. I like it.
Also, you could do the whole like Amazon challenge.
True. Also true. You could also delete by area, so you can delete by region. So you want everybody in Newcrest gone? Gone. You want everyone in Willow Creek gone? Gone. This also includes hidden lots such as Sylvan Glade and Forgotten Grotto. Nobody lives there, but you can delete them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you delete the lot?
No, you delete people.
Or just the people?
The Sims.
But nobody
Sims.
lives there.
But they come up as options anyway. So you can. You can also delete active zone. So deletes all non-active Sims in the current zone. So if you want to...
That's like a Thanos move right there.
Or like a rapture happens.
Oh my goodness. Now, if you could delete all the NPCs, I mean, you can. If you were going to delete all the NPCs from a certain world, which world would it be?
I love one of them.
From one of the neighborhoods?
Like neighborhood. I think it would probably be Brightchester, because the ones there are so annoying, except for the Pleasants.
Yes.
How dare you?
But the Pleasants can also, you can just take them from the whatchamacallit.
How?
I'd rather delete them. It's more fun.
No.
I don't want to.
Don't delete anyone. All of our townies are beautiful and unique and special.
Okay, but if you had to, which one would you do? You guys are so wimpy.
Probably the Get Famous one. I don't know.
I would say, what's the one where the land grabs are? What's that one?
Oasis Springs. There's so many people there, though.
If I could save, I'm forgetting his name. Vanity's favorite. Also my
Johnny?
favorite. If I could save Johnny Zest and Dina Caliente and just move them to them because I ship them and move them out and then just delete. Oh no, there's that roomie house too. They're cool. I don't know.
Yeah. This is a psychology conundrum or a philosophy.
Why are you doing
philosophy
the train test to us? The
trolley.
Chidi would be
problem.
So upset. I have a stomach ache.
This one made me sad. You can delete all pets. I don't know why you're a monster and want to delete all pets, but
okay, this is Caitlin's line. This is Caitlin's threshold. Let's kill a whole town, but not the puppies.
Not the kittens.
That's most people's line.
I guess.
I have never advocated for any of the deletions. I've just been reporting. My only note for this was a sad face on the script.
Unpopular opinion, delete the pets. I don't care.
Whoa.
Even Mayor Whiskers? You're going to delete Mayor Whiskers?
He's going to die eventually.
He'll never die.
We're back. We're back.
We're never
Take that,
coming back.
Tangent.
And now everyone hates me.
So there's also some active household cheats. You can fill the needs of the household / current lots. So all the needs of whatever you selected get set to max. This is a good cheat. Good cheat.
I think that one's in the game normally.
You can also do it here. Whatever floats your boat. I think you have to type
whatever boats your float.
Ooh.
No, I'm pretty sure there are some cheats that you get when you do testing cheats enabled and you click on the mailbox without any mods.
Yeah, but you don't have to type anything for this.
If you have it on things by default. Yes. Or no, I guess you're right. Okay, carry on.
You just click. You can flag skill rate change. So flags all Sims in active households so they learn skills faster or slower depending on their skill difficulty setting. Didn't you say, Roxy, that you wish that certain Sims didn't max their cooking at certain points?
Yes.
You could just make it super slow.
And it would just affect that household.
Mm-hmm. That setting,
okay.
So you can
so that's another one of those two-step settings where you got to go into MC settings. Then you would change that, but it doesn't go into effect until you come and click this setting on the mailbox.
Yeah.
Good. Got it.
You can also change world time. You can change time. Time is your plaything. Do what you want.
Time is a construct.
It is a construct. So change the world time by specifying the day and hour offsets, days/hours. By the options you pick, your Sims will be launched so if you pick like 2 days and 3 hours, your Sims will be launched 2 days and 3 hours into the future.
So it's kind of like Manifest. You just like make them lose time.
Pretty kind of. I don't think it counts against them.
Is that what Manifest is about?
I think so. It's like the people on the plane disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
And then the people were like,
with Prince Charming.
What? Nothing happened. And they were like, no, yeah, you were gone for like 4 months. Okay.
If it's Monday and you say 2 days, it'll be Wednesday. Be careful if people are outside, though, and it's wintertime, because then they'll be super cold. Also, be careful, because I tested this with a baby on the lot, and the first time, the baby got taken away because it was outside. So, they took it away. So, oops.
Your baby was outside?
It was. I went to my cult save,
Yeah.
I went there, so the baby was born outside, and I didn't move anything.
Oh, geez.
The baby had just been born, and I was just testing with time. I didn't realize they were in fall. So that
you left a newborn on the lawn?
I don't know. They don't have much inside to go to.
They love the grass.
Excuse me.
I don't know. But just be careful about like weather and stuff. You can also do season cheats. Say you want to change the season, you hit the mailbox. You hit season cheats, then you hit change season, and then you pick the season. Spring, fall, winter, or summer. Hooray.
You can do that. Can't you just purchase the weather machine, too, to do that?
I don't think so. Doesn't that just change the weather?
Not the whole season.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Yep. Carry on.
Why do you guys keep raining on my parade? But if you want to make it rain, you can do that. You see what I did?
Screw your parade, Caitlin.
You can change the weather.
To live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter.
So, say it's raining and you want to have a parade, you can hit the mailbox. You can hit change season cheats, and then you can hit change weather. And there's a lot of weird options. You can make it partly cloudy hot, or rainy stormy cold, or windy warm, or sunny cool. These are some of the options. It made me laugh. I was like, how specific? So I'm going to go for sunny cool for my parade weather.
It's delightful. I need to start using this in my mood challenge, because they live in Newcrest, and it's been fucking thunderstorming.
Newcrest is rough.
It was like they went on vacation to Granite Falls. So in the last 5 sim days, there have been thunderstorms every single day. No matter what world they're in. It's driving me insane.
Newcrest has really bad thunderstorms, but you get so many gems and stuff. Also, you can make, speaking of Newcrest and their lightning strikes, you can make random lightning strikes. Fun. So, mailbox season cheats, random lightning strikes. It'll randomly generate lightning hits in the zone. And any sim can get hit. So, sorry, random NPC that took that hit. Or it doesn't take a second or two. Like, it doesn't happen instantaneously. You do have to wait for it to happen, because lightning takes time, I guess. You can also random lightning strike sim. So lightning will so when you do a random lightning strike, it won't necessarily hit people a sim, but it can, as per any lightning strike. You can do random lightning strike sim, and it will 100% hit a sim, which includes sims that are inside. So, also, oops.
Yikes.
Sorry for that chick who took the hit, but be careful with this one.
How delightful.
Yeah. So that's the mailbox. Hooray. Super, not a lot of options, but very dangerous. You could really do some damage.
Ultimate cosmic power.
Tiny little living space. We did it.
That would help with actually getting the lightning bringer trait to happen. Or it might just kill your sim.
Yeah, be careful. Carefully use these cheats.
With great power comes great responsibility.
And damage. Whew. Threw my pencil.
Potentially, yes.
So remember when Caitlin mentioned the relationship cleaner? Well, the settings for that are found on the computer, which fortunately I have that part here that we can talk about that I've mapped out. So when you click on the mailbox in the MC menu, the Deadpool menu, with the little Deadpool head, there's an option for MC Cleaner. And this will basically let you set the settings, but I don't think it actually has any, like, things don't actually happen until you go over to the mailbox and make them happen. So there's the Sim Cleaner, and that will sync married names so that last names change. And by default, that's enabled. You can turn it off if you want.
So wait, it changes last name. So like, who does it change, or it doesn't change?
I think, well, it's the defaults are for hetero relationships. So I think it would change to the male. I think there's another place you can set that, but like whatever it's set to. This one actually might do the thing, and then the settings are somewhere else.
I think when I play, like, I'm trying to think, does it automate to, like, is the new last name the man's name, or is it the played sim?
I think that is under a different menu.
Okay. Ignore me.
That I haven't done yet.
If you have that question too, tweet at us.
Yeah, we're going to have to cover that one a little more detail later, because I haven't played with all of these settings, because obviously it's kind of hard to play with these when you have a new save, because there isn't enough going on. But you have the option to sync married names. It's enabled by default. So
cool.
If you're happy with names and how they're going, leave it alone. There's an item
cleaner. But if you want to smash the patriarchy, then get in there.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm just saying that because I don't know where the settings options are. I'm pretty sure for same-sex, it'll be random. And I don't know if there's a place you can set which way it goes for hetero relationships. I don't know. I didn't change my name. I don't know. I don't even go here. So
that was my question. Like, I feel like in the game, I don't know if I've ever played where I do play with I married Sims. I'm just trying to think of the last one that I did. And I don't know what the name change was. I don't know if it changed.
When they get married?
I feel like it might have changed.
They don't change unless you change it themselves.
Okay.
That's the
Maybe I'm
normal
thinking
game. Their last name doesn't change unless you physically change it.
Maybe I'm thinking of like the household name. Because like if...
Yeah, there's that too. When you merge households, it kind of randomizes whose name takes dominance.
Does it randomize, or is it the played sim?
Well, for me, in my experience, it depends on... It seems random. I mean, it might depend on like which one you're merging. Like if you merge a sim out of a household of 5 into a household of 1, I think it gets the last name of the 1. But you can just click on that and change the name of the household.
We'll pay more attention next time, guys. This is not hard scientific research.
I'm so sorry. I did the best I could. There's so many words.
No, you did great. I'm saying for the listeners, like, we are not the experts. I mean, we're not.
We're just trying to help. We're trying to provide information.
It is important to playtest. Playtest is important.
We're just having fun. We're just having a nice...
Like I said, it's hard to do these, especially that one, in a brand new save. So... but the item cleaner is a little more straightforward, and the first setting is one that I really like and need to turn on because I haven't in previous experiences. It's sync glasses. Thank the Lord, why doesn't this exist? So it copies glasses to all outfits except for bathing, sleeping, and swimming. And you can have, it's automatically disabled, but if you enable it, then the glasses sync, which sounds wonderful, and I need to try.
I have a random question. Why whenever you go to the party outfit whenever you're making a new sim, it just randomizes glasses on them? Why are you taking glasses to a party? That's the last place you want glasses. You're going to break them or lose them, and then you'll be sad.
My game always puts glasses on them in their sleepwear, and I'm like, I wear glasses, but I don't wear them when I sleep.
Oh, I always see that as like, I use my reading glasses before I go to bed.
Yeah.
You take your contacts out.
Yeah.
So you need your glasses. That's how I see it.
But they do sleep in them. Like, they do lay down and still have them on, so that's kind of annoying.
I mean, that's the problem with slippers, too. Who sleeps in their slippers except for my weird 9-year-old?
Don't judge me. I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, so that's a thing you can do, and it sounds pretty helpful, and I'm going to try it out. You can remove items. So, okay, so this definitely does things. So this would... if you click on this, it'll remove the items that you have told it to remove, which gets into more details later. But yeah, clean item ages. It will remove specific outfit parts from the specific categories at regular intervals. And then, you can choose which ages to do it to. And the default is the people who wear the same outfit, like... The default is teen, young adult, and adult. Clean item genders, clean item parts. Okay, so this is the settings that you would use to set the remove items function. So basically, you go in and set all your options for clean item. You can set the ages, the genders, the parts, the sims that it affects. And then you would go back and choose the remove items to actually do the cleanup. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not making any sense. Quick. Find a way to make more sense. Okay. And the gender options obviously are male, female, because those are the only ones in the game at this current time. But you can choose which ones are affected.
It's a starting point, and then you get more detailed in
Yeah. Yeah. But you still have to choose one or the other when you're making a sim or affecting them via commands. You can choose which clothing part, which gets very detailed. It's pretty much every clothing item and positioning that you can think of, including left wrist, right wrist, etc.
Right.
And the type of sims is kind of like the typical options of NPC sims, played sims, or active sims. It's a little shorter. All right. Then the neighborhood cleaner, which I think this is what I was talking about. This did come up in Caitlin's thing. Mm-hmm. So if a sim has been marked as culled or as a ghost and is released to the netherworld, it will delete them from the game.
Permanently. Forever.
And the default is that it's disabled, but if you enable it, then the deletion happens. There's an option to bypass family ghosts. So you can, when you run the clean culled sims, it doesn't delete a ghost if they're in the family tree of an active sim. And that's enabled by default. So your ghost isn't going to disappear when you do that other thing, I think. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. Caitlin, back when she was talking about running the relationship cleaner, I think that's the one.
Yeah,
and these settings affect.
You can click which ones aren't affected.
Mm-hmm. Sync household names. Okay, this might be the other thing we were talking about. If enabled, it will make change all household names to the last name of the family living there in case it is changed.
Well, great.
So it's not normally enabled. It's normally, the default is disabled. So you have to turn it on if you want the names to change. So you wouldn't have seen it change before unless you went in and changed that setting. And then the relationship cleaner, which is the last part of this menu, I think, you can specify which households to clean. The default is include NPC households. You can also include played households, active sims, or played sims. And the relationships to clean, the default is acquaintances. And you can also choose 0-level relationships, acquaintances, friends, good friends, significant others, and custom level relationships, which then you can go in and define a value between 0 and 100. You can clean pet relationships. So if you have acquaintance pets, 0 or acquaintances will be cleaned. If you want to increase that level, you can destroy your pet relationships, which I don't know why you would do that.
Well, I think that this is just more from a utility standpoint. It's just so that your game runs a little smoother. It's sort of deleting those background actions that really don't affect your gameplay.
Yeah.
Sure, if you came across Mayor Whisker another time and didn't remember him and he didn't remember you, I guess that would, maybe change your storyline. But then you get to meet Mayor Whiskers all over again, and the love is back, and the joy increases tenfold. So you're welcome.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of these settings really come into play and really like get their use case value once you have a longer term save. So we're talking about those people that play the same save for years, which I am not capable of doing, which is why I'm so confused. What's it like to have a save that you've played for months and months? I do not know. I have commitment issues. Okay. And the last one is relationships to leave, and you can set a value, between 0 and 100 of relationships, a percentage of relationships to not touch with the cleaner. So I guess it's like if you want to still have certain things.
We will always love Mayor Whiskers. Always.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
It'll be random though.
Ghost dog. I can't remember his name, but he has a little bandana as a collar.
He's a good boy. He's a captain or something.
He's a good boy. I love him.
He's famous. He should be famous. Why aren't pets allowed to be famous? Okay. So yeah.
Should have jobs. Continue.
So you can also turn on notifications to show pregnancies. Again, it's defaulted to none. And you can show marriage notifications and relationship changes. So you basically can simulate that reading gossip in the newspaper feature if you really want to. If you really love pop-ups. The next menu is show menu settings. This just makes them not appear. So if you don't want to see them when you click on the computer, you can disable it. If you don't want to see them when you click on a sim, you can disable it or change to just showing certain menus that we will cover. And you can bypass certain menus. It's all very complicated. But this will make certain things only show up when you use the console cheat command. So if you do Control Shift C and you type in MC help, that'll get you started on using MC cubed in the cheat console bar. Obviously, you just got to kind of play around with that. And you can also show or disable the cheats menu, which is, I think, when you click on the sim. It's either when you click on a sim or when you click on the mailbox.
Sweet.
And then there's console command settings. So this affects the cheats that we all know and love. The first one is enable full edit casts, which I think is really helpful to have it turned on all the time, so that if you need to go in and change a trait or anything that you can't edit in casts unless you have that cheat, it's just annoying having to turn it on and off. So this is one I like to enable, but it's defaulted to disable. You can also set it so that testing cheats is always enabled. So that's helpful for new saves. You can turn headline effects on and off, which these are all normal cheats we use, but this allows you to control whether they're automatically on or automatically off. Hover effects, which gives you that white outline wherever your mouse or cursor is. Debug commands, which is basically show hidden objects. You can have that on or off. And build by setting. Oh wait, debug commands, that's different setting. Enables debug when testing cheats is on. Oh, right. I'm sorry. Debug commands are when you click on the sim and you need to reset them. That's called a debug or objects. The build by settings is the one that shows hidden objects by default. And then it has a submenu that lets you also show the live edit objects or live edit objects, depending on your philosophy. Or have move objects on by default, free build on by default, unlock entitlements by default. So these are all pretty helpful, if you just want to have your cheats on all the time instead of having to type them in.
All the cheats.
Constantly message your friends and say, what's the cheat for unlocking entitled objects?
That's a large portion of our group chat.
Yeah. Real talk.
What is this cheat?
And then you can modify phone texts, and I wish there were more options here, but all you can do is either When your phone is silenced, tell it to receive all texts, festival texts, or no texts. So I guess it's enhanced silencing for your phone.
Thank goodness. Because, like, after a certain point.
Hey, I heard you're friends with your brother now. That's cool.
Or when you're like, you flirted with someone once and they're like, oh, I heard you just made friends with the person you're currently flirting with. Bye.
What?
Yeah.
How did you know? Were you watching me?
Just feel like somebody's watching
me.
All right.
I don't want to go to the Bluffs with you. Stop texting me about it.
Why is it always the Bluffs or the ruins?
Father Winter, I don't want to go to your crazy party.
I was friendly with you because you were giving me a present. Stop.
Oh, yeah, I was friendly with you because the game makes me talk to you before I can ask for a present, which is crazy.
I always do give Father Winter a gift also because I feel like...
Suck up.
Aww.
I feel like he gives you a better present.
Oh, he does. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I don't know if he does or not. This could be inaccurate.
Not play tested. All right, now we're getting into that money, ching.
Money makes the world... I'll stop singing.
Is that ABBA?
No, that was Cabaret.
Ah.
Liza Minnelli.
Musical Corner with Caitlin. And Melissa. All right, so now you can this is next menu is for money settings. So the top one here that most people are aware of is pay child support. I know we mentioned that in our last episode. So basically, I think it's tied to the billing cycle. So if you owe child support, you'll lose money on the day you get your bills. Or if you're receiving child support, you'll receive it on the day you get your bills. And then you can modify the percentage. So this one, it says percent, but it's not strictly 100%. It ranges from 1 to 1,000%.
1,000%.
So
Who
you
lied on their tax return? Jesus.
You can gouge your baby daddy for all his money if you want.
Good. Fuck him.
And change bills percent is just your regular household bills. And this is kind of cool. The EA default is 0, so you just get the regular EA percentage or whatever. If you change it to negative 100, then you'll get no bills and you'll owe 0. So this is like really helpful if you're doing like a homesteading or runaway type scenario and you want to have like plants and trees but not have to pay bills. Kind of like before they gave us that off the grid trait, which also I think doesn't give you bills, but it also takes away your utility of certain objects like lights and things.
Right.
So in math, if you actually math-wise, if you change it to positive 100, that is equal to double your regular bill rate. So 200% basically. And this also goes up to 1,000, so you can gouge your Sims if you want. I don't know why you'd want, but everyone's complaining about the price of universities, so I'm like, I guess people want to pay more sometimes. And then there's a separate menu for applying those settings to apartment bills, because I guess they're on a separate part of the menu, but it's just bills. Another feature I really like is auto pay bills. So when this is enabled, it automatically deducts the money from your account if you have the money. If you don't have enough money, then it just doesn't do anything. It's not like it zeroes you out or something like that. So I like it just because then I don't have to take that extra step of paying bills while I'm trying to play. And then, do you remember when the game had inheritances?
I miss it. It was a good way to get money.
Yeah, it's like, was it only in Sims 3 or was it in Sims 2?
It was in Sims 2.
Yeah, it was in Sims 2 because I remember the debate about who gets all of Spectre's money. Yeah. Well, MC Cubed also allows you to have inheritances in The Sims 4. So it's pretty simple. You just have it on or off. And then you can customize who it applies to as far as NPCs or active households or whatever. And then there's an option that it goes to your spouse before your children. And that's enabled by default. But if you wish to disable it, you can do that. So it goes to the children instead of the spouse.
Suck it, new wife.
Inheritances. And I've had this on in my game, and it just happens. Like, you get a notification, like, someone passed away and this amount of money went to his heirs. So it's pretty cool.
It's good.
That is cool.
Okay. So, when you're playing the game, there's lots of, like, things that happen. So
What?
Yes, please say more.
Yeah, one of those things. So this menu is gameplay settings. One of those things is when you go somewhere and you load a new lot. Do you like it to be paused when you load the new lot, or load the lot and then hit play?
I mean, I can't actually remember what it does by default.
I never remember.
'cause
then I hit pause, and then it unpauses it, and then I play that game.
Immediately.
Yeah, I have the same experience, but I think it's supposed to load the lot and then hit play. It obviously doesn't do it consistently, because otherwise we wouldn't be confused. But this
Sure.
lets you
We're all
set
just
that
dumb.
setting. So it can either be pause when you load the new lot, or play when you unpause when you after you load the new lot. The default is to play, but I kind of like it, like you said, to be paused, because sometimes I need to, like, orient myself to, okay, what's my agenda on this lot? What am I doing? Where am I going? Etc. So you have the option now. You can put away books. Like, so there's a fix. This is I guess, like a known quirk in the game that, like, Sims don't know what to do with books, so they just, like, leave them lying around after they finish. If you enable this,
it's so freaking annoying.
yeah, if this is enabled, they're supposed to go try to find a bookshelf instead of just putting them down.
What is book?
How do I book?
That's a great quote. All right. Game time speed lets you affect the number of real-time milliseconds per sim second. This is deep math, but basically
The deepest math.
it can make it go faster or slower, and faster is generally the one we choose, since it takes 3 hours to eat. Sims die on lot, so the default is that it is enabled, that the Reaper doesn't show up if they aren't on a lot and they happen to die because of things that Caitlin will go explain.
Oh.
But if they're on a lot, then the Reaper will show up like normal. And if you want the Reaper to show up every time, then you just disable this lot, or this setting, so that the Reaper will always show up. Skill difficulty adjustment. This is max cheating, peak cheat. You can make it slower to gain skills or faster to gain skills. And yeah, you could obviously use this to cheat pretty bad. I think you could also use it to make it more realistic in some... I wish you could almost customize it more. Like, I'm tired of every sim I play maxing cooking just because they cook for their entire lives. It seems unrealistic. But I wish you could almost, like, I don't know, tune it. Whatever. Or, like, it'd be kind of cool if you could put a ceiling on a certain sim. Like, this sim can only ever get to level 3 cooking. But I think we're getting way too complicated.
I mean,
when you get that warning that your kid's about to be taken away? And usually...
Oh, in the game? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Only in game.
Not in real life.
This is the podcast about the game.
Right. I got it.
Usually that doesn't happen, but occasionally it does happen. And in that case, your kid disappears, and you usually can't get them back. Well,
usually it's just your very judgmental mother-in-law going, well, if you don't feed her, you're going to get the big repo man to come for your... I'm mixing metaphors here. Please continue.
Please feed your children. I don't know what Melissa's doing, but please feed your children.
And
my cats are looking at me right now like, yes, please feed us. You don't feed us enough. They're fine. They're completely fine. You're fine.
But this setting in the game in MC Cubed is adopt neglected child. So if you enable it, then it will go into a NPC household, and you can go find it instead of being lost into the system forever.
Oh,
that's good.
That's nice.
Especially just because most of the times that in fact, I'll say this with confidence. Every time I have had a child taken away, it's not many times Caitlin. It is from some weird glitch that didn't allow me to feed them, or their care didn't go up. So because it wasn't my fault, I will cheat and like get them back, and it's devastating.
Sure,
so
blame
you couldn't
the game.
do that, really.
Blame the game.
I mean, listen, it's not so in Sims 3. If you lost a kid, they would show up as like adoptable, right?
Yeah, that would happen in Sims 2 too. Two.
So Sims 4, they figured that probably wasn't humane, but this cheat gets right around it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. This honestly hasn't happened, so I don't know.
La-di-da.
It's funny though, because there are a lot of glitches that affect like kids, especially toddlers, like babies, kids, and toddlers, but especially toddlers. Like when they released Discovery University and the hot fix came out, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, our toddlers' needs were decreasing twice as fast as normal. We fixed it." I'm like, what about all the ones we lost in the meantime? It's fine. You can also adjust your maximum household size, and I think this is a feature to use with caution because CAS only functions with 8 Sims. So if you have more than 8 Sims in your household and you load CAS, it's not going to be a happy situation. It's going to be a problem. So use that at your own discretion. You can modify the mode of decay, which again allows peak cheat or, difficult times ahead. So the default is 100, which is normal decay. You can make it 0, which is no decay. And you can make it 200, which is double decay. And it lets you change it for different types of Sims, like baby Sims, regular Sims, vampire Sims, cats, dogs, and the fame decay. I'm not sure why that's here, but that's where it is if you want to change the decay in your fame rate, your famousness, whatever.
Famimity.
Yes. Then there's use random aging. So when they spawn a new sim, it typically starts. Let's see. Sorry, this one's complicated. Let's see. When Get Famous came out, they made it so newly spawned Sims that are like just filling up the world start at 0 days to their lifespan, their age range. If you disable this, then it will like override that it will override that, and they'll show up with a normal like random amount of days. So if you don't have Get Famous, you don't need this. That's my takeaway. And we talked about it in the first episode about how you can set the custom age spans. So like if you want to go and do the maths or look up someone else's maths and like make the aging more realistic or whatever, you can set those here, and you can set it for each life stage and for cats and dogs. So
yay.
That is that. We have finally completed these first 3 menus on the MC settings.
Fabulous.
There's a lot. We will hit you up with more items from this MC Commander MC Cubed menu, unless you've written us in the meantime and said, please, God, don't talk about this anymore because it's so boring.
Please stop.
So definitely write into us, tweet us if you're interested in more of this, if you're interested in less of this, but there's a lot more to dive into. We haven't talked about a couple of the stuff that we've already researched. There's some CAS, Create a Sim functions. There's some career functions that we can
and clubs
into.
Too.
Clubs we got to talk about.
We never talk about clubs first. Clubs always are like, we'll get to that later.
Because well, we've talked about it. I don't play with them, but I do more the more we talk about it. So we're going to keep talking about it. There's stuff that comes out when you click on your own sim or click on other sims. So just stay tuned. There's going to be more of these, and hopefully when we talk about it, we're interesting. And maybe you're an auditory listener. Maybe if you are like me and you try to read a big paragraph about the ins and outs of MC Command Center, you go a little like data blind and go, nope, too long, didn't read. Someone just tell it to me into my ears. We're the podcast for you.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Giving a thumbs up to my microphone, just so you know.
Great. We have more fails from Mr. Lord Phoenix. We featured some content from him in the first part of this episode. So here's some more from Mr. Lord Phoenix. This next story takes place in The Sims 3. I was thinking I'd make a legacy like I did in The Sims 4. So I created my sim. His name was Logan. Oh, male Sims. I'm so unfamiliar. I decided I wanted to mix it up a little, so I made him move into an apartment in Bridgeport, the world included with late night. Oh my God, there's a throwback. He decided to live in the apartment that's always being renovated because it was cheap. I can't remember the exact name of the apartment, and SimsWiki doesn't have it listed, so I can't check. I believe you. So he moves in and gets a job. Pretty standard stuff. The next day comes, and the carpool is coming. Oh my God, remember the carpool? I'm sorry. So much nostalgia.
Oh, cars.
Only Logan has the couch potato trait, so he oversleeps. I tell him to get up, and he starts making mac and cheese.
No.
I get it. Listen, I get it. Except it's The Sims 3 and making food takes a lifetime. I say, forget about the mac and cheese, just go to work, and I send him off to work. Only this numbskull leaves the mac and cheese on the stove. No. Oh, no.
Yes, remember when that was a thing?
Oh, yeah. We all know where this is going. The second he leaves the apartment, the stove catches fire and the apartment is up in flames. Thankfully, I was able to turn it around for the better. I thought I was totally screwed until I remembered this isn't The Sims 4, and you can actually call the fire department. They went in and put the fire out, and my apartment was saved. Then, the very next day, it went up in flames again. Once again, I was able to put it out before anybody got hurt. I guess this is what I get for buying a cheap place and not upgrading anything.
Logan.
I mean,
stick to the quick meals.
I guess.
Or pizza.
Sometimes you just want mac and cheese for breakfast. All right?
No.
Yes. You do. I know you do.
Yes. You got me. So, Mr. Lord Phoenix goes on. One last minor fail, and the same Sims 3 save. Maybe not a fail, but still annoying nonetheless. Since it was a brand new household, the annoying AF University Llama came to visit me and left a bunch of garbage at my front door. Only I couldn't do anything about it due to the way apartments work in The Sims 3. It's technically not on my lot, thus not allowing me to do anything about it. Along with the countless newspapers that I can never keep up with, getting out of the house is a pretty big pain in the rear. Thank you for sharing all those stories.
Oh, those newspapers. I remember those.
Oh, I hated when they turned brown and you're like, ugh, gross.
I know. Was that 3 only, or was that way back to 1?
2 had
2 had them.
for sure.
Got it. All right. For the end of the year, Merry Winterfest.
It's a Giftmas surprise.
A Giftmas?
That's right. And
yes, Giftmas.
And Giftmas. If you're all about that New Year, New Me, the first episode of 2020 is going to be our New Year's special, also on the holiday, on January 1st. So we got some predictions and some year-end wrap-ups, kind of like we did last year, but this time for 2019.
And it'll be like 7 years before that happens again, so...
You think?
Something like that. Like, there's something about like how certain days falling on certain days of the week. Maybe it's 17 years. Anyway, it won't be often that we have episodes coming out on the days.
That's true.
You can find us on all the social medias. We are Plumbob Cast on Instagram and Twitter. We are Plumbob Podcast on Reddit. We are Under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook, Tumblr, YouTube, and Twitch. Our website is undertheplumbob.com, where you can contact us directly or email us at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. We have a weekly Twitch stream at 11:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time, but that's on hold until the beginning of January, so we're taking a little time off at the end of the year. Please find us, subscribe, rate, and review on any of these podcast catchers out there. Apple, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora, and let us know if we're not on your favorite platform. We have a goal of getting 100 reviews on Apple by the end of 2019, and we're oh so close to meeting that goal. So please, if you can, get on there and give us a star rating and or written review. We do try to read out all of our written Apple reviews because we're very appreciative of them. We also have a shout out for Lilia on Facebook. I think I said that right. Julia tried to tell me, but then I lost the little sound clip she sent me on how to say it. It's Lilja. She commented on episode 38, another Llama episode called The Brooks Can Break Your Game, and says, a podcast about The Sims? Where has this been all my life? Hashtag relatable, because that is the exact reason I started this podcast. I was just hanging out on the interwebs with my friends, talking about The Sims, talking about true crime, and said, hey, we have all these great true crime podcasts to listen to, but why isn't there one on The Sims? I poked around, there weren't any that were active, so I said, why not us? So I'm very, very grateful to these ladies. They've given so much their time and energy into this project, and we're now over 50 episodes in and going strong, and I'm especially appreciative to everyone who's bothered to listen and rate and review and recommend, and our Simizens on Patreon especially. It means so much to me that you're willing to contribute your hard-earned cash to help us succeed and have our website and be able to do things. So we really appreciate it and look forward to sharing this content with you, well into the future and into a bright 2020. So everyone, stay calm, get yourself a cup of cocoa, head back to the real world, and survive the holidays, because we'll be back very soon.
Badish. Dag dag.